I think there's something to be said about like directing as a whole and understanding what goes into producing a piece and the concept behind that. You come up with a concept about a guy. He's going to now be in this washroom that you found. How do you go about taking this idea that's in your head to do a spec ad and making it real life?
For me, it starts with the treatment, always. The treatment is actually really where I can craft the story. It's a good framework for me to, okay, I'm gonna come up with the concept. I have the high-level idea. The treatment process helps me iron out the story points, the plot points, the characters, and from there I can find the inspo that helps me visualize the world, and that might also give me some inspiration for different plot points that I maybe didn't think about. And so build the treatment. After the treatment's done, I'm happy with it. I'll send it to Danny, who's my closest collaborator and the DP on all the projects. Then we'll be like, okay, how do we get this to actually happen? You know, if he likes the idea, we'll kind of run with it. I already have the locations usually banked. Okay, we can use this. I'm usually that role in terms of finding locations and casting. I think it's some of my stronger.
So as the director, you like to do the casting and locations?
Yeah, especially on specs where it's like self-funded. I really know what I want.
Right.
And if I don't have a team to really delegate to, I can find what I want pretty quickly, which is nice.
Now walk us through this treatment. I'm going to hand you over the mouse.
Oh wow.
Because everyone does the treatment differently. So walk me through kind of like how you would present this, you know, whether to a client or to a fellow collaborator, you know, what do you decide to put in here? You know, what's the important information? You know, why choose what you did? So let's go through every page.
Okay, so like the first page, I want to start with like a hero image that is really, okay, this is a vibe. This is what we're going to get ourselves into. This is like the intro. So it already sets the world. Like this inside Llewyn Davis frame, it's a cooler tone. It's a washroom. Pretty much sums up the vibe I want to go for. And then yeah, I kind of go into right into some inspo images. So this is like the character. It's like classic corporate America. That's really what I wanted to go into, like droning work that no one likes.
Okay. So you're building the feeling for who the person is right
exactly.
away.
This is the tagline that we were working with. So some things are meant to smell, your breath shouldn't. So like in the washroom, obviously you're dealing with some sounds and some smells that are not necessarily the most ideal. And then I go into the story, kind of a summary of what's going to happen in the ad. Again, a pretty like strong image to kind of convey character and vibe and cinematography. More character images. So for casting, this is like, I want this kind of nerdier, uncomfortable, awkward, almost like wiry kind of aesthetic. And again, classic like mismatched ties and weird dress shirts and just like nothing makes sense. And I kind of break down who the characters are. So there's Ralph, who's the main character, unmotivated office worker. Employee number 2, who is the guy who is dealing with a problem digestively. And then yeah, locations. So kind of it's really high level breakdown of like, okay, what are we filming in? Obviously it was just one bathroom, so it was very easy to kind of get into.
And so when you do your treatments, all of these images you're pulling from online in some fashion because you're doing this before anything's even captured. Yeah. Do you ever include photos from like a real location or a real actor in your treatment, or is it always from online?
Early on, like conceptually, it's always online, unless I've done like the scout with the bathroom or something. But I use Frameset mainly as like my image reference database for the commercial treatments and also for narrative treatments as well. So cool. I find it's like my favorite from a user interface perspective. I can categorize everything, good flow.
Well, that's a good news for SetReady, because I mean, if you are a SetReady fan, there is a promo code for Frameset. So it's right here.
It's gonna be somewhere floating here.
Somewhere up here.
Then cinematography, this is like where you can just have fun with like crafting the look and the tone. I think color was important, like the bathroom was green. So I wanted to lean into that, like, it's almost dirty in its own way, but the green's also refreshing because it's like gum is refreshing and it's like this kind of mint branding.
Green's a hard color to pull off in camera too, because it can be done really, really badly.
Yeah, especially as it blends with skin tone and yeah. And then art direction, I discussed more of the aesthetic, more of like, okay, this is late 90s. We want even the sounds, and we want this to feel like it's a sprawling big office and he just happened to escape.
Is this the Wolf on Wall Street?
Yes, I think it is. So like the idea is like this guy's coming from a big office and this is like his way to escape, which I think a lot of people have done.
Yeah.
I've done that personally, like if I worked at a job, like the bathroom is like your break almost. And then I dive into the storyboard. This is where like it helps me visualize the flow of the edit.
Okay.
And usually my treatments are pretty close to to the final piece from like an edit and pacing perspective.
So do you feel like for you, your storyboard, you find doing this way versus a traditional like drawing helps you? And I guess why?
I have the idea in my head, and then I have to find an image that reflects it. So I'm not like drawing it. So like the act of finding the image helps me actually visualize how it could be shot.
Right.
So it's like almost like a vetting process.
And so do you, when you're doing your shots here, are you looking for composition, framing, lighting, like shot size, all of that stuff? Or what are you looking for?
I think first and foremost, it's always like shot type. Okay, what am I trying to show, and what best like shows that with character placement, like blocking, location. Secondary, but it's also built into it, is like the aesthetic,
Okay.
the cinematography, the tone, the color.
But you've already established most of that earlier.
Previously.
Right?
So I can be more flexible because like this is just like reference for when I'm collaborating with Danny, how I want the shots to feel and look. So for example, this first image is I think almost what we started with. Instant character introduction. This guy is at the bathroom washing his hands. And then this frame of the bathroom stalls is very similar to what we shot. Obviously we couldn't get as wide. And then yeah, I guess start building like the coverage I want. Like okay, we can punch in here later. This will show this emotion. Then we have like the pack shot with the gum.
So if you're looking at this shot here, shot number 3, how are you finding a shot like this in a website like Frameshot or Shot Deck? Like, what are you typing in to prompt you to give you that exact thing?
It's a lot of like, it's a mix. Like I'll search up washroom first, like very generic tags. And then I'll find like what I'm looking for. Usually I'll create like a folder for all of it, download it. As I'm building the storyboard, I'm usually like, okay, I'm missing shots. So I'll find like, okay, office worker, washroom. Start adding more words, or filter like the shot type, close up or extreme close up, whatever it might be. But usually like the database is so robust, I find it pretty instantly. I'm never struggling, which is nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Which is a big plug for Frameset. And then the end shot I wanted a bit higher. We didn't end up using that. We shot it, but I wanted a bit higher, kind of detach us from the world as he exits the bathroom.
And then so this is what you'd give someone like your DP, and then you'd pass along to the rest of the crew that needs to know if you had like a scripty or something, if you had dialogue. Or
yeah, I'll send it to anyone, like even art department. I'll send it to. Sometimes I'll build in more of like a production design tab into the treatment, or a styling, like wardrobe styling.
So why do this as opposed to like a Word doc?
I think visually, like I'm a visual guy. I can't really see in words well. So visually it helps me, so I feel like it can convey faster what I'm trying to achieve. And then if they have questions, we can collaborate based on the image. Hey, this is what I'm thinking based on this, like this look right here, as opposed to, I gotta tell you what's in my imagination, which is an art form, like it's a good skill set to communicate, but this is also just more efficient for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, like, it's funny looking at this because I'm like, this is how I do my treatments. And I've seen other directors and I'm like,
it varies.
It varies. Like, it's such like, there's no like uniform answer because like I am visual. If I'm trying to pass this along to someone else, I want them to know what I'm thinking. Yeah. Now, most of the time, I would say my visual treatments don't always look like the end product. They change usually quite a bit.
Okay.
Because I love when the DP has some flexibility, but for the most part, this usually sets the stage. And what I've started doing is actually just making videos. So like I'll just make the ad with the stills and then like have like the music and pacing and feeling in it. And then it's like, here's exactly what I'm thinking in an edit already. That's
funny, because I've been doing that too, like more of like a mood video. It's like a treatment, but a video.
Yeah.
And it actually helps you work out story issues and pacing issues.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is not gonna work. Like this coverage doesn't work, or this cut
so it's like
doesn't
taking a step further of not only like static images, but like finding like I'll look through like Vimeo or like other like media forms and like just build in videos and like cut the ad.
Yeah.
Or like I'll bring on my editor ahead of time and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. You start cutting the ad. Let's figure out what shots we're gonna be missing.
I think on the client end or agency end.
I think as we go forward and clients want to be more involved, it's like, you know, a drawn storyboard is great. A text storyboard, you know, a bit harder. Yep. But like if you're working with a client, a video edited storyboard is going to be like the easiest thing. If you were to give this to a client and, you know, you were trying to sell them on you being the director, you know, what would you do after this?
So typically I'll set up a meeting, walk through the treatment with the client, maybe show them the video if we created a pre-visualized kind of mood video for it. Almost tell the story, like be a storyteller in the presentation.
Right.
And guide them through what's gonna happen. So it's like a roller coaster almost. Like it might be a ride for them, but if they can opt in and like actually get it in their brain and start imagining,
they can feel like they're in the story.
So that's the goal, and I think that's like a skill, and like something I'm still trying to develop is like that presentation style where it's very like it's a flow state where you can really take whoever you're talking to, the client, on like a ride, and they can understand the vision.
Yeah, because I think just like hearing it, people hopefully will be able to visualize it and then see it. You should be able to just see the treatment and then go right in and watch the video and be like, oh, this is the same thing. And I think, in the best case scenario, we, as directors, we always have time to do treatments. Yeah. Sometimes that's not always the case, though.
And I've definitely experienced like the rushed treatment. I think, and I made this mistake before. I would build the treatment, but then that would be again just ship it out. Where I find like the magic happens in the presentation of it.
So making sure you make time to give that like 20-minute pitch.
Yeah.
Just so that you can sell yourself. They could get 10 of these, but it's who they want to pick. Like they're picking based on your personality. And I find that directors often get so caught up in like the story or the visuals or the creative, they forget about like the last 10%, which is if you want to get hired, you got to sell you. Like you got to bring you into the project.
Your personality and like who you are is probably like your biggest feature to build up and to present.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to see more videos or you like this video, make sure you let us know in the comments below. If you have ideas for videos, let me know too. Thanks for watching, and just tap that subscribe button for more videos.